Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's March 22nd, 2019. I am Marian Pizzola.
And I'm Nick Walker. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
A scandal broke earlier this week involving Facebook users' privacy, exposing millions of passwords. They were translated into plain text that could be searched by more than 20,000 Facebook employees. Vice President of Engineering, Security and Privacy, Pedro Canawari, said they had, quote, fixed these issues, and as a precaution, we will be notifying everyone whose passwords we have found were stored in that way. End quote. Canawari continued to support his point by adding, quote, to be clear, these passwords were never visible to anyone outside of Facebook, and we have found no evidence to date that anyone internally abused or improperly accessed them, end quote.
New Jersey may be the next state to have recreational marijuana legal in the next year. On April 3rd, a meeting with the council is going to be made to share news of marijuana and how it will be made legal. Governor Phil Murphy is here to make sure all steps are proper and that everything that needs to be done is done before the next steps come through on this risky bill. One by one, marijuana legalization in the United States is allowing for more people 21 and older to smoke for recreational use. A spokesman for the Assembly of Democrats states that, quote, if we post it for a vote on the 25th, it will pass, end quote. New Jersey is on the cusp of being a cannabis industry.
There will be several events happening this week around the downtown and greater Cincinnati area. The Cincinnati Ballet will be playing Aladdin starting Saturday, March 30th through April 7th in the Aronoff Center. It is deemed to be one of the most popular and best-selling performances, so make sure to buy your tickets before they run out. Prices range between $20 to $170, and students' discount may apply. Another event you might want to join this week will be the FC Cincinnati versus Philadelphia game on Saturday, March the 30th. Using the code XUGroup, you will be able to obtain a price reduction exclusive for Xavier students. As some of you may know, it is FC Cincinnati's first game of the season, so it will be a great day filled with adrenaline and excitement.
Ohio Senator Mike DeWine raised his gas prices 6 cents at a local meeting near Columbus, Ohio. DeWine states that, quote, an 18 cents per gallon increase was the, quote, bare minimum, end quote, needing to fix Ohio's infrastructure. This will be passed on July 1st, and an increase for public transportation will go up to $46 million. Many local residents say how underfunded public transportation is in the state of Ohio. That version passed the Ohio House with support from 40 Republicans and 31 Democrats. With this increase in price, we might be paying more as college students, but supporters claim that Ohio economy will improve.
Also coming up this week, the Cincinnati Reds will be playing against one of their biggest rivals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, on Thursday, March 31st. The Student Activities Council, known as SAC, will be selling tickets for $5. You can buy your tickets on the first floor of GSC, which is Gallagher Student Center, starting at 4:30 on March 26th. Make sure to tell a friend to join you because it will be a great day out with temperatures along the mid-50s and 60s and sunny blue skies.
One of the most stressful things about college is the pressure to find a job after graduating.
Ken Vorez interviewed 2 alumni on the topic. Here's what they have to say.
I graduated in May of 2016, and I actually didn't find a career-oriented job until January of 2017. So it was about half a year that I was searching for a job.
I graduated in 2016 I was a communication studies major with minors in digital media and media studies. To find a current steady job, it took me exactly 2 years. That's my fun fact is I graduated May 14th of 2016. I got my current job on May 14th of 2018.
There's a lot of stress of graduating and not having a job, and I was a victim of that. But I think everyone should understand that everyone just has to go at their own pace and pursue their own goals and dreams. And no one is going to approach life the same way after graduation, and that's totally okay.
Whatever you get out of college does not set your path. I had a lot of odd jobs, a lot of little gigs here and there. I was part of just a lot of freelance things, and I always kind of equated that with like failure. You're always like, oh, I just need a real job at a salary. That's not true. You can be very successful, and that's how I met the best people that I knew, and the people who would eventually help my network were through freelancing opportunities. But I wish I knew that going in, so I would have kind of embraced that lifestyle a little bit more. The Alumni Tell is an event that we've put together to help current students to find a job, to give them tips, give them kind of our life advice. We're all recent grads, and we've all had very different paths to our current spots. So it is to tell the students that there are many different ways to get to where you're going, and these are our experiences. So maybe, you know, if you run into the same things, you know, you're not alone. There have been other people with you. Most important thing you should do is just, you put your head down and talk to people. Like, get out there, grind away, and like talk. You need to make connections. That's the most important thing, is just meeting people. If you're not meeting people and you're not getting your face out there, people won't know who you are. So even if you're doing something for free or whatever it is, you're just kind of putting yourself out there, people are noticing.
The number one thing people should do to find a job after graduation is not necessarily to go out and like have a goal of finding a job. Their first goal should be to open up a conversation. So as soon as you do find a job and you apply for that job, your next goal should be, who can I talk to within the company to see how it functions and how I could perhaps get an interview, and really just find someone who you can offer value.
The Center for Interfaith and Community Engagement is closing in the Gallagher Student Center at the end of this year. This decision was made by Father Graham earlier in the semester. They have a plan to combine the Center for Interfaith and Center for Faith and Justice departments in order to have a stronger core. The intention is to also strengthen faith and justice for all levels and encourage more involvement in the community. According to a Newswire article, Center for Interfaith and Community Engagement Program Director Stephen Rennie said she hopes that with these new positions, more students will find where they belong on campus.
A common misconception is that the art majors tend to be easier than the most.
Hannah Schultz is here with a package that shows just how difficult these majors can be.
What makes it challenging? Oh, what makes it challenging?
I think the most challenging parts are the technical aspects. Because like I said, everyone can put paint on a canvas, you know? That is easy. They can pick up a pencil and draw a stick figure. But how you compose those images and the technical aspects of lighting and color, texture, rhythm, all that plays a part, and you have to think about all of those as you're creating one image, and it can take up to like months to come up with one composition. You know, it can take up to years to come up with something that's actually good.
I have heard that art majors are easy sometimes when it comes to just doing it. They just think that they can get up on stage and just, oh, I can memorize a couple of words and walk around in a circle for a couple minutes. That seems easy enough. But really, if you're not willing to put in the time, then it's not easy at all. And it's just not going to be as easy as you think it is.
I mean, it's more than just putting paint on a canvas. It's like, how are you setting up the image? Is it going to be abstract? Is it going to be realistic? What colors are you going to use? How are those colors going to interact with each other? Because, you know, have you ever seen those paintings? They're like two X's next to each other, and they're the same color, but on one color it looks green, on the other one it looks gold. Like, that's basically, you have to know that as an artist, how colors interact, and they don't think about that. You know, like, how does the lighting in the image shape the tone of the image, the story behind it?
I think the misconception comes from, when you're looking at sciences, it's just like, here, it's either right or wrong. There's something very clear to grade here. We can put numbers to this. When, like, even like the first time, like even when I came here my freshman year, my thought was, how are we getting graded? Because isn't it up to interpretation? Or so it's just kind of confusing. I can see where that comes from, because I was just confused about it too. Combining
computer science and art, to me, doesn't seem that hard, because I've kind of mixed that way of thinking throughout all my life. It's always really funny because people ask me, they're like, well, how are you going to combine those two majors? Like, how do you combine them? My first answer is always animation, you know, because people don't realize there's a computer aspect and the art aspect behind that, and you have to combine both. And maybe they do realize that, but they just don't think about that right away.
Didn't care, it's just you could tell that there were some people who were more involved and more into it than others. But here it's like, everyone wants to do this for like a living. This is what they want to do. So it's just like amazing to see all the passion that they put into it.
News desk, people.
We'll be right back with Marta Bergland and the Xavier Sports Report.
Good afternoon, Musketeers, and welcome to this week's edition of the Xavier Sports Report. Over spring break, the men's basketball team competed in the Big East tournament in New York City. They first had a close victory against Creighton in the quarterfinals, narrowly beating them 63-61. The Musketeers then advanced to play Villanova in the semifinals. After a hard-fought game against the Wildcats, with the Musketeers reaching leads of up to 10 points, they fell to Villanova in overtime 67-71. Unfortunately, this, combined with the team's record throughout the regular season, resulted in no bid for the NCAA March Madness tournament. However, the Musketeers do have the opportunity to compete in the National Invitational Tournament this year as a number 3 seed. On Wednesday, the basketball team kicked off the first round of the tournament at Cintas with a 78-64 victory over the Toledo Rockets. Notable performances came from Najee Marshall, who led the team with 20 points and a career-high 21 rebounds. Tyreek Jones, Quentin Gooden, and Paul Scruggs also added double figures for the team. The Musketeers advanced and next play number 2 seed Texas at Texas on Sunday at 4. Next, as spring has begun, so has the baseball team's home season. Their home opener is this Friday against the Evansville Purple Aces at 2 p.m. They also play on Saturday afternoon. They are entering their home season with a current record of 6-13. Finally, congratulations to freshman women's tennis player Emily Thomas on being named Big East Athlete of the Week. This follows Thomas going 4-0 in singles play this week, extending her win streak to 8 straight. The Musketeers swept Howard 7-0 in their first match as Thomas won at number 1 doubles alongside Amir Kyle. They defeated Nicole Hutchinson and Christina Jones 6-1. Well, that's all for today's sports report and broadcast. Have a fun and safe weekend, Musketeers. And as always, let's go X.